Hey guys, so in this video I want to share some of the things that I have outright said no to in order to help me along my financial journey. I've spoken about things that you should do or things that I have done that have seen, a positive impact in my finances. But, success in your finances is as much about the things as you can say no to as it is the things that you say yes to. So let's just get into it. So number one on this list is saying no to credit before my time. Now, what I mean by this is credit is a really important feature of life, right? And it's an important part of building wealth for most people, right? Having access to other people's money to partially buy a house or to expand your business is a key feature. And so a credit score is required to access that. However, access to other people's money in a sensible way requires discipline and it requires, financial literacy to an extent. I remember in uni, everyone was getting overdrafts and people were even being offered student credit cards. I think I was offered a student credit card and I was like, what on earth am I supposed to do with this? I'm a student. At the time I was working like part-time, but I don't have a solid income to come in, yet I'm going to have access to thousands of people's money or thousands of somebody else's money, the bank in this case. And I didn't think I was in a place financially or in terms of my financial literacy to take that on. I just didn't want to worry about it. And I know a lot of people say you should have done this, you should have done that, but I saw a lot of people get themselves into trouble because of this and walk out with thousands of pounds of debt. And this is to say is credit is not something that you necessarily have to be afraid of completely, but don't rush it. Don't feel like because everyone on the internet saying, oh, you've got to build your credit score once you're like, 4. Like, no, if you're not ready at 16 or 18 to take on, access to certain amounts of debt, starting from neutral is a lot better than starting from negative, in my opinion. But not financial advice, not financial advisor, all that sort of stuff. Now I'm in a much better position. I know that I have a steady income coming in from multiple streams and I feel more secure in my ability to manage finances. And if I do take things out, only spend what I have. So just don't let anybody rush you, especially when it comes to credit, taking on things like mortgages or credit cards or personal loans, anything like that. So the second thing I said no to was disproportionate spending, or if you'd like, rapid lifestyle inflation. Now there's nothing wrong with, say, when you get a pay increase, treating yourself to something, or maybe getting a nicer version of something. But it has to make sense money-wise, like the proportions have to be relative. Otherwise, the inflation of your lifestyle runs away and, you're not even seeing any long-term benefits of this increase in pay or this new job or this new stream of income. And what this kind of looked like for me was saying no to things like, a new car. So I've had the same car since I passed. I don't really use it that often, but would have been very easy for me to say finance an Audi or, a Mercedes or something like that when I started my job in tech. But I decided, actually, I don't think that makes the most sense right now. And I don't know if the benefit of me driving this Merc is going to outweigh the cost of this extra however many hundreds are going to come out of my account through financing, the deposit if I put down, or if I just bought it outright, or the insurance. All of these things add up. And you have to start to think, does it make sense? Another thing is tech. Like, I am a big proponent, like I've said in my other videos, of high quality tech. That doesn't mean every time the new version comes out, I buy the new one, right? Like with iPhones, I've kept my iPhones for years until I eventually like, okay, this thing is not actually functioning and I don't think I can do anything about it. Maybe time to get a new one. But that's very different to every October or every autumn when the new iPhone comes out, feeling like you have to get it. If you feel like you're in a position to do so and it's going to have a positive impact on your quality of life or your ability to make more money, perhaps that's right for you. But getting caught in the consumer loop is very different to thinking out a process of upgrading your gadgets. And I think another one that comes under this kind of rapid lifestyle inflation is designer bags, or just designers in general. I really only started getting into more luxury items like that in the last, I'm gonna say, year or two. Before that, it just wasn't something that I thought made sense for where I was in life. Like, okay, this Prada bag is gonna cost me however many months rent. Am I that type of person yet? And it's okay that the answer is no, right? Like, it's okay to just get higher quality versions of things that don't have a label on something. And this kind of links to the idea of quality over designer or luxury, and just thinking things through about what makes sense for your lifestyle at the moment. So that's that category. The next thing is continuous self-help books. Now, if you've been on my channel, then is it a year ago now? I made a video on self-help books and why they're not all there, cranked out to be all the time. But I love them in a sense that they have helped me think about the world and money in a different way. That being said, the self-help loop is in itself a scam at times. Like, I didn't really start to make better financial decisions, or at least grow financially, until I took action, which meant it wasn't just about reading the book and getting your kind of stimulation or your happiness from finishing another self-help book or another financial book. It was about when I put the books down, stopped going out every single day or going onto my Kindle and buying them, and just implemented what I'd read from, the 5,000 books I've already read. That's not an actual accurate representation of how many books I've read, but you kind of see what I mean here. And the final and most important one is saying no to limiting beliefs about finances and money. This can be really hard, especially if you come from like a working class background. Your concept of money, how much there is out there, what is being done with it, can be very limited, right? But it's not until you kind of expose yourself to certain information, but also real life experiences, that you realize there's a lot of money floating around, and it's really about positioning yourself to access that money. For example, when I started working in tech and the salaries that I was seeing, bear in mind, up until this point, I'd been a student, I'd worked some like part-time retail jobs, like nothing crazy was going on. Then I was like, wait a minute. If the people on the ground are making this money, what is the organization making, and what are the people above making? And it really changes the way you think about money. Similar sense in content creation, when you see some of the journeys of certain content creators and merging what they love to do with getting paid crazy amounts of money. And I'm definitely not there, but just seeing what is out there can reframe what you think about money and how you think about it, and what's possible. So saying no to limiting financial beliefs about money and business and finances is the most important thing I'd say. Out of all of this, the other things are more tangible, if you like you can hold them, like you say no to credit, or you say no to buying that new bag, or you say no to buying another self-help book. This is more about how you think about everything as a whole. So if there's anything you want me to talk about surrounding finances, money, all that good stuff, then let me know in the comments, and we'll see what happens. I'll see you in the next video.